No, my neck's completely fine, unlike Charlie. So let's talk about some life-changing fiction books. This is part of a series. This is part 2 of the fiction books, but you can also see the non-fiction reads I suggest as well in the playlist. It's going to be linked above and also in the description down below. So life-changing books. This doesn't necessarily mean these books are fantastic books. On this list, actually, there's at least one that's actually a negative in terms of life-changing, but we'll get into that later on. But I'll link the books in the description down below to Waterstones and bookshop.org, where you can pick up these books. Starting off strong, actually, with Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I've spoken about this book before, and this book is actually now part, I think, of a 5-book series. There's a lot of these books, and there's probably more coming too. I think I've read up to number 4, I believe. Before the Coffee Gets Cold is a book all about people being able to deal with loss, grief, a desire to return to the past by returning to the past through a magical coffee shop which gives you a coffee which you can go to the past for the duration of the coffee getting cold, as long as you stay in the spot you are in the coffee shop. Basically, you've had to have been there before. This book is life-changing to me, not because it is a good book. It's a very good book. It is an award-winning book. I don't think it's one of my favorite books. I don't think it's a brilliant book. I think it's a very, very good book, which is definitely a award-winning book. There's a difference between like pinnacle and award-winning. I think they're different. But I think this book is life-changing for me because when I read it was, I think, the point in time where it really triggered me starting reading a lot again. I think I sat down and I read this book in one sitting. I've said this so many times on this channel before as well. But in doing so, it really like clicked something in me, which made me want to read a lot more. This channel was already a thing by the time I read this book, but it's kind of a thing that really spurred me to go out and keep reading more and more and more diversely. I think I got a library card after I read this book, which I always encourage you to go and get a library card no matter where you are. It's awesome, and always take out books from the library as well because it helps get them funding and it helps them know what books to bring in too. So, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, life-changing because it is one of the reasons I got back into being a very avid reader. Good book as well, and also 5 books, maybe 6 by the time I'm talking about this. On to the first negative book in this series, IQ 84 by Haruki Murakami. I have a whole video, which is one of my top performing videos as well, about why I don't like Murakami books, which is funny because that was a video where I put very low effort into, and I actually had a high effort book video about why I don't like Murakami books. I have a playlist on that as well, I'll link it above and down below too. But Haruki Murakami, 1Q84 was the straw that broke the camel's back. Basically, I did a thing where I was like, I don't really like Murakami books, but I'm going to read all of his books in like a month or 2 and see if I can find a saving grace in his books. I couldn't. I really, really hated every single one, but 1Q84 was the one where I was like, God, please end this right now, please. Because, and I'll go into a lot more detail on this in my Murakami hate videos, so you can find those again in that playlist I mentioned. The narrative was all over the place. The magical realism, which he's done in other books as well, isn't done very well. Like the multiple dimensions type thing isn't done very well. The relationship with a young girl is very strange, and it seemed unnecessary to the plot, or it felt like it was kind of shoehorned in and made part of the plot. The way he treats the women in the book is like they are there to be just evil to their core, apart from one who does but has to rely on a man who for the most part is pretty bumbling throughout the book anyway. There was nothing redeeming about this book, and it was long. I know I read the 3 books in one, but by the end of 1 I was like, this is poor, and then I got to the end of 2 and I'm like, please end it now. And by 3 I was like, I don't want to ever read another book in my life. it impacted me so negatively that it made me want to stop reading for that year. I think thankfully I read another short, very good book after that. I was like, oh, okay, I'll keep reading. I think this was 2023, 24. Maybe it was last year. I've tried to block that month from my mind, to be honest. So 1Q84, not a good book. Don't like Murakami. You can find out more in the playlists. And the final book we're going to be talking about today is Mr. Loverman by Bernardine Evaristo. This book was life-changing for me because I think it was the first book with Caribbean protagonists that I've read, at least that I can think of, or at least British Caribbean in particular. I think it was the first the first book that I'd read that maybe had non-heterosexual leads. I think, I'm not 100% sure on that. And also, it really made me want to discover London, and really also, more importantly, opened me up to literature that wasn't just heterosexual relationship literature as well. And also, I guess the time that I was reading it, I could just, whilst I was reading the book, I can very vividly remember the time. I can remember I was reading it at one point where I was taking the Piccadilly line from, I don't know where it is, where Shah Rukh Khan's failed business is that has been turned into a gym upstairs. From there all the way down to Fulham to see my friends, and this book is stuck to my mind with that. It is a book that really made me it's the first book also with an older couple. Well, actually the second book I've read with an older couple, and it made me really feel for them, and it made me really consider life and stuff. It's one of those books that really makes you think about your life and makes you think about how you spend it and how you should want to spend it. I thought it was really thought-provoking, and also there's a really good BBC adaptation of it, just called Mr. Loverman. Very, very well acted, very well put together, very accurate to the book in itself. Highly, highly recommend it. I don't know how many episodes it is. Maybe about 9 45-minute episodes, give or take. But yeah, really good show, really good, just really lovely read. Well, lovely more so in an emotional, maybe cathartic at points sense as well, I suppose. Especially as I'm getting older. I'm significantly younger than almost all the characters in this book, obviously. But kind of as I get older, I'm kind of, you get more into understanding your feels, yourself as a person, just people in general. I think this is a really good character study of people, and again one of the first books, if not the first book I read with Caribbean protagonists, or at least British Caribbean protagonists. So yeah, really great book in my opinion, and I've got more Bernardine Evaristo books, and I'm very, very excited to read those too at some point in the future. So those were 3 life-changing fiction books for me. We had our first negative life-changing, I believe, of the series. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of books were life-changing for you, both positive and negative. Obviously this is the fiction video, so give me some fiction books down below. Before we go, I want to say thank you to my members. Members get special bonus videos if you're part of a book club, a movie club, other additional content. They get content early. They get to help decide what content we are watching. So this month we are reading Sing to the Western Wind by Tariq Mahmood, and also we're watching Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto, so which is funny because that was last month's book to read, and we're watching it this month. So like I said, if you do want to become a member, you can do so from as little as £1 a month. If not, thank you for getting to this part of the video. If you did, comment coffee down below, whether the emoji or actually the word coffee. I need one actually because I'm feeling a little bit sleepy. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, hit that share button, and hey, I hope you read a great book today. Do you like my Evangelion poster? I've had this poster for like 4 years. I don't think it's straight. It might be. Get in the Shinji Eva. Get the Shinji Eva.